What's up, ladies and gents? In today's video, we're going to be talking all about ONDO Finance. We're going to be discussing what we're seeing here on the charts. We'll be talking about a price prediction for ONDO over the coming days, as well as my target for 2025. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Of course, if you are a new viewer, then welcome to this channel. If you do like this sort of content, hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you are a returning viewer, as always, welcome back to the channel. It's great to see you all here. So we're going to be diving straight into this video, and so we're on the one-day chart right now here on ONDO, and as you can see, we've had a nice little recovery from the low there on 11th of March. Of course, we are still quite a bit down from where we've been since the start of January, but nonetheless, we are seeing quite a nice recovery here for pretty much all of crypto. As you can see on the top right, every coin that we cover on this channel is in the green at the moment, so that's good to see first and foremost. Of course, the main question here for ONDO is this the bottom here for ONDO? Is it going to be going any lower than the 73 cents, or are we going to start on a new uptrend? I personally think we are really close to a bottom here in the price. And if you truly believe in ONDO, now is a really good time to be scooping up ONDO. There's several reasons for that just based on the price here. Of course, first and foremost, what we have seen on ONDO's price has pretty much perfectly touched its support trend line. That's been in play now since mid-2024. Of course, this is the first sign that we could be seeing a bottom here in ONDO. The fact that we've got this long-term support here on the ONDO price, you can see that it's been tested on 3 prior occasions back in 2024, where the price has come down on 3 separate occasions and bounced off this bullish support. And most recently, when the prices hit 73 cents here on ONDO, we saw it bounce back from this level once again. So we've got this extremely strong support on the price. Of course, on top of that as well, what we've seen on CoinMarketCap, if we go on this fear and greed index, is that if we have a look at detail on this, we have seen record lows on the fear and greed index over the past few days. We've seen a low there of 15 since records began on June 2023 on this fear and greed index. We've never seen such a low value, and considering that 2025 is supposed to be a bull market year, this in my opinion is just ridiculous. And of course, when we see dips in sentiment, it also generally tends to correspond with dips in the prices of crypto. As you can see on this chart here, this gray line is the price of Bitcoin superimposed on this chart of the fear and greed index. And so basically, when we see dips in the sentiment, so for example, in September 2023, we also saw a dip in the Bitcoin price. As you can see, the Bitcoin price, when we saw a sentiment low there, was sitting at roughly $25,000. What happened next was Bitcoin started to rally up onto new highs. Again, we saw a dip in September 2024, where Bitcoin's price was hovering at $54,000. Of course, soon after that sentiment low there, we started to see Bitcoin's price rip all the way to a brand new all-time high there, nearly $107,000. And what we are seeing right now is sentiment at 15 just a few days ago. Bitcoin's price was 76,000. And so basically, if you believe that greed and extreme greed are going to be coming back to the market sometime in 2025, then now, in my opinion, is a great time to be buying up your favorite cryptos. Of course, me personally, I strongly believe that we are going to see the sentiment shift back to greed and extreme greed sometime in 2025. And I can imagine a scenario where we're looking back at this moment in March 2025 when the sentiment was this bad and we were wishing we bought more crypto. Of course, I know it's hard to do it because the prices just kept on falling for the past 2 months. But honestly, if making money on crypto was this easy, then everyone would be doing it. So that's where I truly believe we are in terms of sentiment in the market. Of course, for ONDO, the dip where the fear and greed index was 15 was when ONDO was at 73 cents. Of course, we are still quite low compared to where the prices were just a few months ago. On top of that as well, if we look at Bitcoin as well, another great indicator to tell us that I think we've seen a market bottom is the fact that Bitcoin, if we zoom out on here, since 2023 has also been following a bullish support trend line. You can see this gray line here has held Bitcoin up in this bullish trend. You can see the prices have come down to this trend line on different occasions and bounced off of it. Most recently, again, just the past few days, we saw Bitcoin touch 76,000, bouncing off this support trend line and started to head back up. Now, of course, for me, I personally think that Bitcoin is going to trend in this range between 80 and 90K for a little while. But at some point, I do strongly believe that Bitcoin is going to be making new highs once again. Of course, there's a lot of reasons for that. For example, the creation of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve has set a new precedent, in my opinion, that I think other nations are going to start copying in the near future. Of course, that can only be bullish for Bitcoin. And therefore, I see a scenario like this a lot more likely than a scenario. Of course, that's going to be very positive for ONDO Finance. If Bitcoin is going to be heading to new highs, then ONDO Finance is also going to start heading up. So the question then becomes, if I do think this has been the low of the ONDO coin price, how high do I think ONDO Finance is going to go? And the main way I predict how high I think the price is going to be going is based on these Fibonacci levels. These levels I've been monitoring very, very closely because, as you can see, the price of ONDO really truly respects them as places of support and resistance. For example, you can see that generally speaking, as the prices have been trading, you can see that all these fib levels have been used as places of support and resistance. And of course, I'm circling some of the different times we've seen the price use the fib levels as places of support and resistance. So what I do expect to see as prices start to head up here into 2025 are these fib levels to be our price targets. So the first goal for ONDO coin is to, of course, reclaim the previous all-time high that currently sits there at roughly $2.10. Right now, I'm playing it level by level. So the next immediate target here in the short term is this 0.382 fib that sits at 96 cents there. If we can claim that, next level is 1.12 cents. Of course, that keeps on going up to the previous high there. If we can reclaim that, then my price targets are going to be along these fib levels here. Of course, the 1.272 fib gives us a potential price target on ONDO of $3.07. If we can break past that, we're looking at 1.414 fib at $3.69. And the most important fib there, the 1.618 fib, gives us a possible price target here on ONDO of $4.79. So right now, that is roughly a 5.5x from where the current price is. I do think that's highly attainable. I would like to see ONDO coin get closer to the Chainlink and HBAR market caps. At the moment, you can see that ONDO is at $2.7 billion and Hedera and Chainlink are both sitting near 9 billion. So it's roughly a 3x to get closer to it. And given the fact that I do think ONDO Finance is going to catch up with the market caps of these two top coins in real world assets there, I do think that this 5.5x to $4.80 is highly attainable. Of course, like I say, I'm playing it level by level. So if I see strength in the ONDO Finance chart, if we start shooting straight in the upwards direction here with a lot of momentum, which we can see with the MACD, then this would be extremely bullish. And I would consider raising the targets throughout 2025. Of course, very, very finally, guys, what I'm also looking for here is a crossover on the MACD. If we get that, for me, that is a strong buy and sell signal. As you can see here, for example, we saw a clear crossover at the very top in the price. That showed us that the momentum was going from bullish to bearish here on ONDO Finance. And of course, if we sold at that point, we were selling near the top. So MACD provides us some very nice buy and sell signals when the two lines do cross over. As you can see right now, the lines are closing into each other. If we remain bullish for the next few days here on ONDO Finance, that could give us a buy signal from the MACD, and it could indicate that we could be starting to see a new uptrend emerge here on the charts. Of course, finally, just to show you this as well, another trend line that I'm monitoring closely is this trend line over here as well. And so basically, this is like the final boss of keeping ONDO in this downwards trend. If we start to head up, we get a buy signal from the MACD. Then it would be interesting to see how ONDO responds to this resistance, because if we flip this resistance, we get a clear breakout from this resistance, we could see an acceleration of buying force here on the charts. Of course, I would expect the prices to go even higher if we can break cleanly past this resistance here. Of course, that breaks this downtrend that ONDO has been in, and it confirms to us definitively that we are starting on a new bullish trend. So that's basically like the final straw for this downtrend. If we can break past this resistance, then it's a complete green light here on ONDO, and we could start to see ONDO smash through some of these fib levels. So that's basically what I'm watching here on the charts. Of course, I've given you a lot of price targets to look for here on ONDO based on the fib levels. I've given you the fact that fear ingredient index is almost at record lows at the moment. So it's never a bad time to be buying. Of course, as the saying goes, buy the fear and sell the greed. Of course, hopefully this video has been helpful to you guys. Do let me know down in the comments if you are holding any ONDO. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.